So in this video, we're going to be setting up our tax rules. And before we can set up tax rules, we have to set up some other things first. If we go to Sales, Tax, we need to add some tax zones. Now, you can import and export your tax zone rates here just by simply clicking Export Tax Rules. It's going to give you the CSV file. If I open this up, you can see that it's just a table where we have California, New York. Notice these are rate codes, the country, the state, and the zip code, the rate. And so this table is actually our rates. So we can add rates if you have many different areas to add them to by just filling out additional rows in the CSV, or we can add them through the interface. Let's add them through the interface because we only want to add one right now. So we can go to Sales, Tax, Manage Tax Zones and Rates. So this has those two rates that we just saw in the CSV, California, New York, and you'll notice that there's a tax identifier, country, state, region, all this stuff, and it's the exact same as what we saw in that table. Well, let's click Add a New Tax Rate, and I'm going to add one for Michigan. So you can give this whatever sort of identifier you'd like. I'm just going to say Michigan. So the country is going to be United States, and the state we're now going to select as actually being Michigan. So this is what tells Magento that the tax rate will apply when somebody is from Michigan. And this zip post is range. You can set up ranges of zip codes to only have this tax rule applied to. Since this isn't going to be a range of zip codes, I'm actually just going to leave this as no, and we'll leave this asterisk here under zip postal code because this means that any postal code in Michigan will be charged tax. Now I just need to add Michigan's sales tax, which is 6%, so I can just put in 6 here. And I don't need any sort of special tax titles for different languages. Let's click Save Rate. Now see we have our Michigan tax rate, and it'll be 6% if you're from Michigan with any zip code. Next thing we need to do is add this to a tax rule. So let's go to Sales, Tax, and Manage Tax Rules. And you'll notice that there's a couple of tax rules here. And these rules basically just decide when a customer is charged tax. Let's click Add a New Tax Rule so we can explore. Now, let's just say this is General Tax. And this is going to be for retail customers, and it's going to be on default product tax class. Notice we have taxable goods and shipping. You can actually create more of these if you need separate tax classes for different types of products. And as well as customer tax classes, you can create additional customer tax classes if different people are charged different tax rates based on what type of customer they are. Well, we have retail customers and a default products tax class, and our tax rate is going to be Michigan, which is the one we just created. Now, we're going to say this is going to be of 0 priority, and because 0 means it's going to be of the highest priority, sort order is also going to be 0. And let's save this tax rule. Now, I'm going to go ahead and delete these other tax rules because I actually don't want people in New York or California charged tax on my site. Just delete them like this. Okay, they're gone. Now, let's try to buy a product. And let's just add one to my cart. These women's shoes. Sure, why not? Looks like I already had a ton of stuff in my cart. And we can see this tax information being added once we enter Michigan into this estimate shipping, and we can put in a postal code. Let's click Get Quote. And you'll notice we have tax being applied to our subtotal now. And I don't have a calculator handy, but it looks to be about 6%. Great, so this is sales tax being added through Magento through the tax rule we just created. Now that we know how to set up sales tax, we can look into setting up shipping.